FIFA Club World Cup, no, baby, I born I be doing pump so. Maybe can't my impression, general impression about the whole tournament. Na fe about Africa for and Ghana for no. Power, your general impression about baby Edri round of 16.
Eriko, I'm in production team. Minchia Wankasa. Minchia Brapeni Dean. Yenam ne mai.
Brapeni. Namana bana. Na odi sala. Obi ani wo fia odi sala kotra. Obi sane bia o se she free.
Every 3 weeks. A month.
And I take you to she free.
Oh, you good pay the basi. Okay, there.
Anything can mean some men my reverse. Or the she free and she free. And she free.
It's namne mai. That was just by the but Eriko. Me fi ti ase nyina maka say tournament will be a very good tournament.
Okay.
Adintia. Format na sesa. And yet to say that there be na European teams no be rare more semi and indeed so format no born no favor European teams because I'm not dominating this tournament a lot. I think Corinthians be in Sao Paulo be in the money a few other clubs and now the trophy almost in Europe for not dominating and now because maybe a number Bofino. They just had 2 games to conquer. The new format, last week, the differences at the continental level. In Africa, competition is starting. I'm very optimistic. Say, you beat me up.
I do, baby.
A dean convincing me, because then because of his level of expertise now, what about my Melody Sundowns? Let's root say. At least one African team will go to. But I think from day one, clearly the African team didn't come to the party. Ali have been dominant in Africa. And let's not forget that this is the best star represented from Africa. All the teams there had either won the CAF Champions League at a point in time going to that competition. I think Club Lyon pulled out. And then one other club, the Ebe Shame. So, we share teams now call from the African perspective. Now it was good, but you know why?
FIFA and EU free.
FIFA
of ownership.
Ownership. Okay, me that's it. You know why? And clearly, our output showed without Man City, typical case. Clearly, without could have made an impression. Near chances, but both 2 good years. When new baby are. When Mamelodi Sundowns needed 3 points against Fluminense.
Surely.
And clearly, I say, Niamane favor the South Americans and then the European teams. Inter Miami, that's who. And of course, they have to rely on the brilliance of Lionel Messi in that Porto game. After saying that, on the first game, they are drawn, right?
Drawn, I'm Ali.
They had drawn that game against Porto. No, he win. They won it, and it clearly tells that Messi is still instrumental in that team. But the dominance has been with the European and the South American teams. Interesting battles in the round of 16. I'm not so disappointed with the African teams.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't root for them from the beginning. Say they would go beyond the group stage. We were hoping Sundowns could have at least be the standout performer from Africa, but yet. The exposure alone is good for the African clubs.
Exposure.
I think going
is that why not Sundowns SA?
Some of the South Africans there. And even if you look at the blend of players in that South African team, they have players outside Africa playing that Sundowns team. They have Brazilians, they have Colombians, they have a great squad. But unfortunately, you're intimate match. And I think this tournament should have favored Africans because of the weather factor. They play a role in
the heat.
So my whole games are, even when the teams are training, they are big industrial fans are Omuyusu or the ground. Africa, 29 degrees, 28, 30 degrees, 33. And yes, so much of a temperature. And the South Americans are using it to their advantage. They play in the heat. And so they are used to it. But unfortunately, we didn't capitalize on some of these advantages. It's a good, it's a learning curve for us. A bet we pay up the interest in the CAF competition, especially the Champions League. And remember, teams be invested because they would want to be at subsequent editions. But for this one, Africa went represented, added up to the numbers. Unfortunately, you know, yes, me making any impression.
Wow. But back now, how Ghana can also get there. And, yes. Because we need a representation. I mean, in the next World Cup, now Ghana club be Sujina will be a BFA. Yeah, giants in Africa, but giants in Africa near core stage. First one will be Ankobi, second one will be Ankobi. Teenagers that baby. 5 years, I can't come over. I can't protect him. I mean, we will come back to Ghana. I didn't general impression in Africa for no more than.
Oh, tournament in there so far has been beautiful. My only worry is that most of the teams look very tired and exhausted, especially the European teams. Even the African teams, you know, you could clearly see
they had a toll on.
Yes. As a season here, boy, and traveling around Africa, you know how it works. Nti omoko tournament ni na no na a show. Mejiri so omo peak at South American teams no because they are in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
And shouldn't affect you that much. And just like Oku said, temperature no so no omo they are very okay with 34, 33, 32, 29. They are cool.
Yeah.
And shouldn't affect you omo. And I know at the right time we'll come and talk about next season. But these teams going that far, it will affect them next season. Especially looking at the timing of the competition. Time and the time on call a few break.
July 13.
Yes. Until they'll have about 2 weeks break. Come 2 weeks later to come and prepare. Just about 2 weeks they are starting the various European leagues.
And then even in December there's AFCON. In Morocco.
And
but already now almost any preseason because already around next month or maybe not preseason so because preseason
and them say this time and now you're on a rest period. Until look at the likes of Liverpool, Barcelona, United, Milan, maybe Milan, but all the clubs, you know, Napoli and all those big clubs now. Resting on Arsenal, I'm so for more resting. I mentioned Barca earlier. Until Oma anko compete. So how it will go, but I just don't want to deviate. So maybe at the right time we'll come and discuss that. But if you look at African teams, Majidi said a few factors may affect Africa. One, tactically, I said tactical lapses are teams. Your game management, and it's also true quality. The goal for our quality.
Yeah. Your biggest blessing from this tournament is the financial cushioning.
Thank you. Because Oka Financial, no, Sundowns at the $12.55 million. With that, any Ali at the 11.55. I think Sundowns 12.95, then we 11.55. And I even know more way and we as a thief at around 9.8 or something. And they could fee all $1 million. So financially need the omogeni. Now, if you look at the tactical aspect, if you look at all the coaches on tournament in them, Marcel Kola and Che and Ali for Jano Kwanom Kofa Rivero de Nebai. If you look at the coaches at tournament, it be someone who say Real Madrid coach, City coach. These are the elite club coaches, you know.
Yeah.
How many of these teams, how many of these coaches now coaching the best clubs in Africa, no? And the teams will be appointed almost one member coaching.
That's the truth.
Even the best coaches now Omoba Africa Hano, they come abroad my pass on my prime and on my peak, on my
even how many of them will be able to manage this European and South American?
Thank you. So Omo kakra na ye background obeka so Omo agidin kakra e we Europe bi Omo a coach some of the big clubs e we Europe no. Omo ba at the time Omo twam we Europe.
So like Abraham Grant?
Yes, we come with Europe. Abraham Grant says what is a European club? The Portugal what is it?
So fear call.
Thank you.
One of the African.
Is you know with Zambia?
Some was Zambia no the
yes, Zambia.
You know, but the point is, I don't know whether he's still there.
He's still there.
Okay. And Sir Abraham Grant here you boni you know. What is it the Portugal Konya cracker so open? With all due respect. And most of these coaches you know abra omwetwam. Another issue and it's about the tactical way is when you watch with that against Man City, game the end there no Pep Guardiola can say clearly no chira say Tokro like adwene wo fam coach na adwene no wo fam oh yeah o kan you mapi o say first half no na omo dominate na second half no na say with that I revert as some tactics omo ye bibi kakra tio eno kra no gidi say eboa omo ema omutumi hold on to Man City and Obama. But so say he was very diplomatic. But the other thing is say adwene na wo fam the way almost starting game no man starting the year. Game early any FC Porto boy. Ali were leading 2-1 in the first half. Game management. Second half Porto bete. Ali share Porto bete. Ali share 4-3. Game management. Ye game ne we na watena we sans draw. And a me about Zambia and China a women's World Cup no. Zambia da form 3-1 na bete share China 4-3. Ye pon game no na Zambia draw. Game management. Ye nim a lot of stuff
so polish no. The inferiority complex is showing.
It was a question I was about asking.
Yes, and
with regards to Sundowns are now more Sun.
I don't know. I don't know about.
Is it the money? And I say, what would you say? My idea getting 4 points.
4 points.
Say inferiority complex.
No, we are World Cup. You are just 4 points.
You call 2006 World Cup. Brazil sharing. Your bobo. Your bobo.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, dear.
Yeah.
Na ya dear de jeka.
Yeah, accepting mediocrity.
Ye call ya ni Germany. Germany for share. Germany na kwaje World Cup. Germany kwa moje World Cup. So mo ni ebo tutu.
They need the only side they don't trade draw.
Man oh no min twaso na man ka se ntia nipa. Nti no.
But say on board draw, it's a fact.
Nti.
Yeah, so that game the mupa. Do baby at the point we're leading.
At the point then at the point you lead, but draw.
Thank you.
Tactical switch. Closer.
Any Portugal crab boy.
Oh,
Qatar.
Fatal che ball. So the fatal yeah. Ti Ronaldo ball. Ama Ronaldo teams no almost share the debut out. But what in the ball? Yeah. Menyini say Portugal ni ebia Lithuania crab ball. Na Lithuania share ebia 1-0. And now goalkeeper na che Ronaldo ball no oba be jino aka so yes Ronaldo mu na ye I say ball no ye ceiling people look up to but menyini say Lithuania goalkeeper no kra or admire no on be call dressing
was it the performance as in the year no
Sabo na mu yusu na no inferiority complex
oh that be ebia na ni na when you watching na nya say give Ronaldo short but
when you say watching Ronaldo short
be say watching ball.
Oh, now what Ronaldo short?
And yeah, Ronaldo short like watch ball. He's happy. Don't you want to say yes?
It was our team now. No, so do
Let me say that time now.
Jolly, I ain't serious. And see, imagine say, and no more one of the few factors are affecting. And idea bakwa, as Africa, you take a big lesson from. Timing. Timing is everything in life. Timing ye BBR. Without it change your coach and some more tournament way. Ali changing the coach. Mamelodi Sundowns changing the coach. And it was clear say coaches ni na no it say your coach exams on the day of the exams and 3 days to the exams ni am a friends and learning material and lesson notes.
But that case is not different from Real Madrid. Madrid went to the World Cup with a new coach.
Look at the quality of Madrid.
No, you are making a point, but they make who can swat technical.
Madrid they expose.
But even in the first game, Madrid struggled.
Yeah.
But expose. Say expose make come massive. And then you look at the disparities between the squad. Real Madrid quality, national Sundowns, national Ali, national Wydad, national Tunis. And the squad in Ankasano, we our world class team, and also African class team.
Well,
see, so these are the few factors affected, and it show clearly. Said the ball World Cup and Casa for national teams, the same thing, and the Africa. Because you call World
Cup, even though you're foreign-based players.
Yes, you call World Cup. You can't about coaching, you can't timing, you can't game management, and you can't so World Cup. Your mind behind the Europeans, the South Americans, no more lot of quality or more countries. Yeah, so we have the luxury say better talk big players in our African continent. And when it say you big players now, based in Africa no more born. Best teams in the diakon. Best players in the baby or more near the Omako. That is it to mutima for the Omokoye no. Omo level ni. A chere sounds to say your potential no. Aka polishing.
But my entry the various groups, entry Africa groups, and if we have a entry where the African clubs in the torso in their various groups, just by way of information, I told you we are Ali area group.
Only 2 points.
Ali on our screen, Ali group ni on the Palmeiras Inter Miami Porto warrior we got 2 points but table every earlier
or default
okay
group number yes
yanko the other group share other now in group D not Esperance nya 3 points yes Flamengo 7 Chelsea 6 Esperance not the group no more the on
the tournament na yakoye no
yeah
you about 12 games we need just 2
it's fine
and
but yanko see Esperance group near yanko the other group so no share Sundowns so me with 4 points Dortmund early day Palmeiras to me na or some fund there am say mama bobra bia aka Sundowns pa team patch of 4 and Sundowns in nyaye ti e wasa no so we try
with that group
we try the other one Man City Juve you with that
and they are
small technicalities a game no na normal dey way on say FIFA says 8 second rule no say we delay ball 8 seconds
Ronald Williams search no
your first goalkeeper again or tournament no Mamelodi Sundowns
Ronald Williams
the second goalkeeper with that in Africa you call ni sanso ko kire
the referee no ho say no ka say dada Yehowa no a it o chie no ginigina mo na say
yes
me were not they were leading or son
they are Obeko tournament, you be oriented.
Yeah.
It is one thing FIFA will do.
It's me for this, some for this to fade. It's me for this.
Form when it's so aside.
Na be ne be do.
Ghana.
Yeah.
You know.